Okay, everybody, we're gonna open the county government meeting. First up is tourism. Michelle and Dawn. Michael and Dawn, I'm sorry. I like Michelle.
Really? You can call her anything.
Call me if you want.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So certainly, as you may know, our administrator of tourism is retiring. I think today is officially her last day. She ran out. She wanted an Irish pie, she said. Yeah. So we needed to do a resolution. So we just figured we would bring it in case anybody had any questions in reference to the position, the title, the testing for it, any of that kind of stuff. We'll be more than happy to explain it to everybody.
Move it.
Is there any chance that we'll find somebody that will move up?
Well,
Or is that-
historically, when there's a deputy in place, we've offered it promotionally. And there is a deputy in place, so we would offer it promotionally, and there's always the option to include an open competitive component. That's really up to someone else, not me. So, I mean, we can do it however you wish.
So my concern with that, and I know Michael, you and I have talked about it, is that a test may not be called for quite a while.
An open competitive test, if it is given promotionally and open competitively, it will be given. If it's given only promotionally, who knows when, open competitively, only, who knows when. It's going to be interesting because the schedule's not out, so it could be a long time.
So I'm not sure I'm following. So if we combine the two, we can force the test sooner? Is that what you're saying?
Not force it sooner, it will just be scheduled together. The state has pretty much told us from the conference we were just back from, if you have open competitive tests, just put them in the health program because we're not giving them. However, the caveat to that is if you have a title that is being offered promotionally and open competitively, they will give it.
I personally think it should be offered promotionally. The person is in the position,
Yeah.
he knows the position,
Correct.
and, then you're not waiting. It'd still be a provisional appointment,
Mhm.
but he could do the job. And one of the things we got information from state tourism, that they won't talk to anybody unless there's a director in place.
And this is not the time for that. We're entering
No.
season, so.
Yeah, I agree.
So traditionally, we wouldn't want a vacancy in the department head position anyway, because everything would kind of fall onto the deputy, which, as you said, the state has reached out and said they're not going to allow for that to happen. So I think it would kind of put them in a really lucky spot.
Let's start the funding.
What would be the test?
Absolutely.
What's the title of the test?
The title of the test is we send up an administrator of tourism job spec to the state. The state creates the test based on our job spec. That's all I know. We don't get any information on what's on it, how it's formulated, none of that.
It's a shame. That's a tested position. It should be based on resumes.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't really do anything about that. But it's been that way. It's been that way, I guess,
Right.
forever, basically. I can tell you, actually, it's been that way on here since 1994.
Can we remove it from the tested position? Can we advocate to remove it?
If you wish to remove it, or if there's a idea of that, then it goes up on New York State resolution that I would put in, and you, basically, we would just wait for the state to move on it. And that could be
Years?
a long time, that could be a shorter, I'm guessing it would be a minimum of 6 months.
If we make it promotional, then it's just one person. taking
Correct,
the
it's a
test.
non, all they have to do is pass it, and they would be,
He's the only one that can
reachable,
take it, really,
so,
so-
that would be it.
Somebody made a motion?
I got a motion now. Before we go,
I'll second it.
hold on a minute.
Yep.
So my other
What
question,
is he moving?
I got a question. So I just want to find out. So
Yeah.
you promote the deputy.
Correct.
How does that position become filled? And that's just by appointment?
Nope, that's a competitive exam as well,
Same thing.
same
Okay.
thing. Yep.
So you're moving this authorization,
To fill the
but
position.
then we also have to decide which way we want to go. So that's a separate motion.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, and I think that once we have a director appointed, then we would look to him to see what he wants to do with that position.
The
With
deputy.
The deputy, right.
But we,
They may not want
my
to
question
fill it.
is a little different. Is the difference is, are we, with this resolution, are we setting type of test? Are we saying it's only one test, it's just a promotional test? Because that's what you're looking for guidance on. right?
Correct. I would need to know how to order it.
And this does say provisionally, so
Right.
we're
They're,
talking.
they're
How
two
about
separate things.
Right, I get you, yeah.
I only made a motion to this, resolution.
Right.
If I could say, if you amended the resolution to say, fill the said position provisionally, is being sought, and that the test be given promotionally. Is
I would support it as amended,
that
but
okay?
it's your,
Yes.
it's your motion. so I'll let you.
Make that motion with the amendment.
We have a
Can you
second
repeat
though.
that motion?
I'll second a second, yeah.
I
All
can
in
pass
favor?
the test. I know who broke the Flag Day parade 30 years ago here, so don't question me.
I have a motion, a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So is there any interest, because it is a long-term project, is there any interest in thinking about moving this from
Jim?
a civil service position to a planning position? Because it does take so long? Is that a conversation we want to have today or another day?
Well, if he is in, if it's provisional, he's in the position. If he passes the test, which I expect he will as a promotional, what's the,
I'm just thinking about strategic planning down the road.
The request for a resolution to try to get it to not be, will take longer than it will to call for the exam.
No. This is not about this person filling that position. This is about the future.
Oh.
The next person. Because if it takes years, then are we thinking ahead to the next person? That's all. Because I'm assuming he'll be in this position indefinitely. He's a young man and he knows the job, so. That's
You,
all.
you can get the test at any time.
Right, we can call for the test at any time. If you're looking to move it to a non-competitive status, it still falls under civil service. Like I said, you could probably wait up to a year for decision. It's really, that's a decision.
I
Like,
think,
for right now, I'm happy. I have this. I'll move forward with
I
it.
think Brenda's talking about 5 years, 6
Correct.
years.
Sure.
Especially if it takes 5 years to
I
get
think
there.
we cross that bridge when we come to it. If we decide
Okay.
5, 6 years that it should be appointed, then we can deal with it.
But then we'll be back in the same position of it.
Well, we can bring it up for
Somebody-
discussion after this. For the next time, right?
That's
Talk
all.
about it sometime.
Get a little older.
Well, I just remember we tried to do this for another department head and it's still, what are we, 2 years, 3 years later for the Office of the Aging for that position to change the title was,
That was already voted. That had already come back as
but it was,
okay.
but it was
did
many
take-
months.
Right, it did take months. I
Right.
mean, there's no denying it's going to take a while to do so, but certainly that's a conversation to open up after we see this one scheduled. Maybe we revisit how, and I'll go through that resolution process.
I'm just always thinking about the future. That's all.
Sure.
The next time.
About the time.
It just takes over a year.
Yeah, but what-
And meanwhile, here, James gonna fix civil service, right?
I think it.
So we're
Okay.
You know, school. Purposeful and-
Right.
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Right.
The Workforce Development Board is currently leases space from the college. They want to move out of the college. Coincidentally, we will have empty space where Board of Elections is when they move to 11 Warren. It works out for them being downtown, much better than being out of college, because a lot of the people they serve are DSS clients or other clients who are on the bus line. We won't have to drive people out to the college anymore. So we're gonna charge them $1,600 a month to rent the Board of Election space, just that front part, not the back part. They'll have 3 employees here, and they will have clients coming in and out.
How does that compare to what they're currently paying?
They're paying 18 something a month now.
And how did we arrive at the cost per square?
So every year, we pay a company called Vineski to do an analysis on our space and our, some other things, because we need it for DSS reporting. So I took the average of what it costs per square foot in this building over the last 3 years. It came out to 1590 something, so I rounded up to 1600.
I think this would be great to have revenue replacement, so I'd move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And that's what thought it's nice, our venture plan is to try and relocate civil service to the other end of the building. And you have civil service and workforce development on the same floor.
Our anchors.
I think that, would work together.
That like Macy's, like,
Notice the way-
Right.
That was the way to say that.
If you wanted to wonder-
Right, she knows about it.
Good afternoon. Oh, so the first thing we've got is the authorization to accept donations and amend the 26 Columbia County adopted budget.
Move that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And the second thing, I'm gonna let Ed talk about the lease.
Oh, Lisa, so we had the county came through, we showed them everything that was going wrong, you know, with the building, concerns, positive, negatives, all of it. So I'm not really sure what they came up with. Just kind of curious.
So yeah, that report went back to Rob Fitzsimmons to include that into change modifications to the lease with the owner. And I don't know for sure where that is. I don't know if he's drafted that up yet. Are you involved in that at all? or-
No.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Ray and Brian met with you out there and got some of the details because the lease talked about us doing some maintenance that's not really possible because of the way the building is set up. So I think the lease was a boilerplate lease and they just threw it together. And we're working on correcting it.
Awesome.
That's where we're at. But I don't know that anything has gone back to your landlord yet from the attorney's office.
I don't think it has.
Yeah, I don't think so, but.
I think probably in front of this committee first. I'll look at it.
Well, we approved it even at full board contingent upon Rob working out the language is what we did. So I don't think it needs to come back to us unless the landowner, the owner doesn't want to agree to something, but.
And this is, are substantial changes to the terms.
Yeah.
So how does that play out with them fixing what needs to be fixed, that over stuff like that?
So, yeah, I mean, as far as there's some special requests that can get included in there, that we can include. I think a lot of, right now we're paying utilities, and maybe we should do this in executive session.
Contraction.
I'm just asking. If you're looking at the lease agreement, are you gonna question the things that need to be fixed?
Yes.
That's what-
Yeah, they're looking at that. I know Rob has talked to Ray and Brian.
Yeah.
So there will be some, adjustments made and.
Okay. I was asking to see if you get
Yeah,
some of the stuff
no,
that
we're-
complained about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I think
you're,
we brought all the issues to light and we're waiting for the attorney to redraft it.
Sounds good.
Regarding the food pantry, last month you had asked, so Patsy said, I just have a few things that we could use if you had extra at your pantry. I could email you or,
Email me or email the town.
Or just-
We'll get
okay.
it down to them, yeah.
okay,
We can pick up more food. We're allowed to get more food because we have dropped off a little bit. So
right,
it's available for us just to pick it up. But we don't bring it because we don't have a place for it to go. So if we've got
okay.
someplace for it to go, we can just have to go.
Is it food related or is it all like?
Yeah, food related, all
Okay.
food related, and then like laundry soap and dish soap. That's the only thing that's not on there that's on there that's not food.
I mean, it's good to get it out there. People are watching the meeting, then,
Right.
that you always can
They
use
need food,
donations.
yeah.
So you want to read the
So just
list?
list it,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise, cereal, coffee, jelly and peanut butter, laundry detergent, dish soap, and we can always use meat, ground beef specifically.
and a lot of that stuff too has a shelf life, so the sooner we get it out on the shelf, the better.
Right.
Okay.
That's all, yeah.
Do that.
That's all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark?
Good
afternoon,
everyone. Is your Mark or your county attorney?
Mark. Can we turn it down here?
After Matt. Sorry.
You put her laugh.
Yeah. I didn't have Mark in the order for that.
Trying to move me to last.
So
Let's see how this.
it's usually how the stuff comes in. So
All right, so seeking authorization to enter into a contract with Gar Associates for parcel evaluation services in the town of Gallatin. You all will remember that you approved us to enter into a contract with the town of Gallatin to do a 2029 reassessment. So just looking to get everything squared away. there would be no payment due to GAR this year for this, but I just wanted to at least formalize the agreement with them. So that way next year we can plan it in the budget.
Move it.
Second. In favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, thank you. Just a couple updates for you guys, based on the, governor's new budget. There is expected that the update, it has been signed into law that the senior and low income disabled income limits will change effective July 1, 2027. So they would be effective for the 2028 assessment roll. They're increasing the maximum from 58,400 to 75,000. That's currently the way it's currently written. I don't know if that will change between now and then, but that's the way it's proposed.
But we're not even at the 58 right now, so.
In comment to that, now that the final roll is pretty much behind us, we have some finalization of it, but we're moving forward and we'll have that published in a timely fashion. We're going to look at what the impact would be in increasing our limits for senior and low income disabled. And would look to present that to you guys in July, county government with a proposed local law to move those up. Seems like the temperature around is that we do want to make some sort of increase. I don't know if it'll be all the way up to the current maximum or if we're going to do somewhere in between. There is also the option of doing a step like it was proposed initially when the state rolled out the increased maximums. So we will be analyzing that and coming with some recommendations.
When you do that analysis, can you give us a number of people as well as dollars? Number of people affected as well as the dollar?
Yeah, and there will be the one downside, that now that the assessors don't handle the star anymore, we don't have income on anybody that would be any new people that would become eligible based on the increased limit. So we can only, the impact that we will look at is what the people that are currently receiving the exemption, what their increased exemption amount would result in for the county and the town specifically. And then obviously, if the county moves forward with a local law, we would share that with the municipalities and the school districts in an effort to just kind of hope that everyone gets on the same playing field. The other thing is the 100% disabled veterans exemption. They removed the mandatory state from that. So it is now back to a local option. They have also tweaked the requirements. I have not had a chance yet to speak to Rachel about the new requirements and if that would enable more veterans in the county to be eligible for the exemption. But it would be based on a local option. So
we'd all have to do that. I mean, every municipality would have to do it.
Right. You have the,
There's no sliding rule on that. I understand too. Will there be?
no,
That.
that's just going to be 100%. If they meet the qualifications, it's 100% exemption.
But in the last go around, they don't do it anybody in the county that could qualify for that.
Correct, because of the requirements, but they have changed the requirements slightly. And I think that it will have increased the pool.
So you think they can relax?
You got one?
Yes.
I got one.
Okay.
Yes.
Iron assessor.
Yeah.
We discussed this today.
Also, you all saw an email in regards to our new pros site. I think you all saw my response to that email. So I have an update for you folks on that. So we have resolved the GIS map. We are anticipating that will be integrated into the site within the next week. And I'll obviously keep everybody posted when that happens. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't already happened, but we are working through some kinks. So that will be resolved. And there was no, and just to clarify, there was no lapse in there being a GIS map available because the county planning had their map available. And they were able to make the connection between the pro site and that map. So I just wanted to address that.
So Mark, how does that affect the towns whose code officers were tied to the old style map? Code
So,
officers and planning departments and whatever. Are they gonna have to move over?
so I think there was only one town that was specifically tied to our map, and then I can't remember if that was King.
New Lebanon.
It was 11,
It's not us.
okay, I thought so. And I don't know that we really even knew to the level that they were tied to the system. We've seen, like, for example, in Ghent, we provide them shape files and they kind of build it into their own system. They're not reliant on our maps. So it would make sense. We weren't really fully aware of the way that New Lebanon was using the site.
And that was their choice. It
Correct.
was not a product that you were sampling and selling. It was
Right.
Their choice.
Right. Yes, and I don't know that they were fully aware that it was fully dependent on our site.
Okay.
But the same thing Gantt does with that program I work, and, they originally gave us shape files to put it in the system, and there it is.
Okay.
And we can provide shape files like we gave Ghent, outside their own municipality. So like the areas that are kind of on the borders, they could work with. And then, the only other thing I have to report is that the new data collector started on Monday and things are going well. So we'll see how that works out.
Did the city reach out to you guys for the go reval?
Yeah, so I provided the city with a quote for a 2029 revaluation. Yes. That is the next, that's the next,
That's the next cycle available.
yes.
And they're gonna,
Sounds like they're gonna do it, right?
I mean, based on what I've seen online, it kind of it's leaning that way, but I can't really speak on that. I haven't heard anything official.
I know that what I read, the mayor's proposing going with the county, but I'm not sure if the council.
We know it changes when it goes to council sometimes.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming we'd use GAR again as data for some subset of this process.
The valuation piece,
Right.
yes.
Do we know what their capacity is? I mean, we're booking pretty solidly with them now for 27, 28, and now 29.
Yes, they can handle our capacity without a problem because it's just the valuation piece of the thing
Okay.
of it. And quite honestly, if they had if the city had went with directly with them for the entire reval, they probably could handle the capacity to get it done sooner. But there's obviously a significant cost difference between what we would charge and what a private contractor would charge.
We're doing the data collection.
so what would be the cost of the city losing revenue as a result of going out as far as 29?
I honestly couldn't speak to that. I don't.
I'm not a fan of GAR anyhow, so I'm not gonna promote them.
But this is I'm not telling you anything you don't know. This is a multi-year process, so that it takes
Mhm.
time to get all these pieces in place. So,
But they're talking about starting in 29.
No,
no,
no.
To have numbers in 20.
No, it would be the 29 assessment goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stockport, I know, it was a 3-year process. for Stockport.
yeah, we're mid-process now. I mean, we're doing whatever that.
Yeah, what we're finding is, we could effectively, with fully staffed right now, we could effectively handle two towns a year. We are hoping that this new software that we're rolling out will increase our efficiency in the data entering side and even increase our capacity. And then once we have 2 fully trained data collectors next year, potentially bringing in some summer help to help them along the way, because there are a couple municipalities that are interested in doing basically once we do their reval in 28, they're looking at being on a rolling schedule of reval, where we data collect from them so much of the town each year, and then every 4 or 5 years they do a reval.
I know who those towns are.
And I think that there are several that are interested in staying in this cycle. And that can also be accomplished, as we see with some other towns with trending. It's easy, it's much more palatable for the taxpayer if they see a small trend each year rather than so many years and then a big trend.
Rick, when was the last time Hudson was done?
It was in 2018.
Oh, I remember that
I
one.
had gone through two. And Gar was with both of them. We had lawsuits, crazy.
But was it 2018, the one they rejected at the end of the day? They did a revale of them at one point. Now the county council rejected it.
I don't know what, I couldn't speak to that. I don't.
I'm pretty sure it was 2018, because I was still with Habitat then, and we had serious issues at that point. But in my subsequent conversations with GARD, they've had personnel changes that I think
Could be.
have instilled greater confidence, and they've also increased their capacity, so.
I will say that when they did Stockport, which is not Hudson, obviously, but we had 2 grievances. That was it.
And I think in Stockport is one that, where we used GAR as the valuation side, but the county did the data collection. And I think one of the things that can really be spoken to is the fact that we still have boots on the ground data collection, and it's not virtual. A lot of the issues that, have arisen from Hudson's data collection, Hudson's, in the past have been for the data collection side of things.
And ultimately, the assessor will make the final decision.
Correct.
On any of those values.
That's-
So the
that's-
engagement of the assessor is key to the success of the.
Right.
You know, who made the most money? The appraisers. They told us, go out and appraise the building, whatever the appraisal comes back at, that's what we use, the number we use. No argument can be at that point, just go get it appraised.
I can't speak to that. I was on the other side of the fence at that point.
They don't want to know those numbers, though. You know.
Question.
Sure.
I have a person in our town that owns some lands. And he decided after owning the land for years, he bought a piece of land next door to his property, theoretically. On a tax map, it shows up as his property. He just decided to have it surveyed, and he doesn't own that piece of land. The neighbor owns that piece of land. So how does he get it off the tax map?
They have to file that survey.
But he didn't have it surveyed, the neighbor surveyed.
Sorry.
So that neighbor had to file that
Yes.
theoretically.
Theoretically,
If he wants to own the land, I mean, he's got to prove to you that,
theoretically, yes,
Okay.
correct.
so he's got to check to make sure that the neighbor.
Because our tax maps, if we don't have any recent surveys, are based on deed descriptions, and they aren't always accurate. And I mean, we could, if I knew the property in particular, we could look at the deed descriptions and replot them, because it could be an area of the map that hasn't been replotted in a long time and could be repaired, maybe could be figured out without the survey. But the only official real document that could really prove a change in a tax map is a survey.
Survey. So you
Yeah,
gotta-
and the only way we're gonna know about it is if they're filed.
Okay.
And there is no requirement to file a survey unless you're doing a modification to a lot line.
Or subdivision.
Right, modification to a lot line, subdivision.
And this is 20-year-old information, but I think when I was on the planning board, some surveyor at some point told us that 60% of the property in Columbia County is not surveyed. It's all deed related.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
What you're
And so there are
telling
lots
me
of
is
surprises.
the person who owns this property theoretically can't get it off the tax roll unless somebody proves that that land, and he's not gonna have a survey because the guy already had it surveyed, but if he doesn't come to you and say, this is my land now, he's still paying taxes on a piece of land he doesn't own, correct? How do you get it off the tax roll unless you get a survey?
You don't pay the taxes.
How that plays out,
You
so.
just get your neighbor to give you a completed survey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
if
you
they
can get
will.
it filed.
Yeah.
Or then or call the surveyor and say,
Right.
Yeah,
First,
I'd have to look into that one a little bit, but
I'll come see him. Yeah, that's fine.
sounds
We'll
good.
hold up the meeting, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I got a half hour.
so over half of our grievances
My
were
wife's
from
got
that
flat tire,
outside
so-
company again this
Yeah.
year, so there's still.
Yeah,
There's
and
other
you're
things
not
that
the only
No,
town.
Yeah,
Thanks for all.
70% of our work.
What's the name of, it's the former assessor, what's the name of the name?
Oh,
Yeah.
Rip
A.
Noble.
Ribbon on it.
That's
Yeah.
not, We're in recording.
We're not saying that. No, what's the name of the outfit? Something, anyway.
Okay, anybody got questions for Mark? We can move on.
We just have thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Hello, everybody.
Thanks for a great Saturday.
Thank you. Thank all of you, everyone for participating. It was wonderful. When it's over, but all the participation from the towns was really, you just heard nothing but raves from so many people who never came and watched it about the parade. It was great. So thank you. And thank you for collaborating with Flag Day for the 250th. So yeah, I don't remember last time. I don't come here as often because I don't really ask for much. You don't know this.
Well, it's good to hear from you.
I know, it's great to be
You always
here.
got a lot going on, so.
I do. Very busy, but, so one of the things, yeah, we've been really busy. We're very busy. Through attrition, especially I'm talking about the DMV now, although in the county clerk's office too, people have left and I haven't backfilled some of the positions. So we are smaller staff now in DMV. COVID came and you all remember the lines out the door, people coming from all over the state to come to my DMV because we were doing takeout and waiting hours and hours. We haven't answered our phones in DMV since COVID. We don't have the staff and we don't have the time and we're still very busy. So at my conference, we had this, lots of vendors come to our clerks conference. We had a company called Polymorphic and they do AI phone services. And what they did a little demo and it's a fabulous product. It's really exciting. I'm not the hugest AI fan. I don't like data centers. We don't want any again. But this is really exciting. So it's intuitive. So it answers the phone and you can say, what are your hours? And it will tell you, are you open late this Thursday? And we're not because of Friday being the Juneteenth. It's in the contract that if Friday's a holiday, we don't have late hours on Thursday night. How do I surrender a plate? Is my license suspended? You know, they could ask all those questions and the person answering, the AI, knows what to say. If it's a personal, you know, if it's something that's like the license suspension thing, it will say, please reach out to County Clerk Holly Tanner or a generic email box with your license number and we'll check into this for you, or you can call the state, you know. It's not going to be able to look into the system to see if your license is suspended, but it will be able to tell you what to do. It can do this in 200 different voice tones and 35 different languages, which is huge. So if someone calls the office and they speak Spanish, it will talk back to them in Spanish. If
So
they
you don't have
call
to go
and
to the
speak.
phone tree anymore.
Yeah.
Speaking to the same whatever bot.
Yeah, if you call in Russian, it will answer you in Russian.
Wow,
If you
that's
call in
fantastic.
Arabic,
No
it
phone
will, yeah, so, really super exciting. My staff is very happy. I think it would be a good customer service, thing, because I do hear that every once in a while, you know, no one answers the phone, that calls forever and no one answers the phone. So I got a quote, they're on the state contract. I got them to give me a pretty deep discount. Now I reviewed the county's AI policy. I did send this map to Chris Sweet. He did not respond yet, but I did. And the only thing it was, so I sent it to him because of they have to approve it, review it and approve it. And the only other thing I don't understand is usually AI tools may be subject to monitoring. They can't monitor DMV calls because it's personal information. So that doesn't really apply, but I read that, seems like it would fit.
Is it normal office hours or is it 24/7?
24/7, 7 days a week, because Atlanta doesn't need a break, doesn't take a lunch. We don't have to pay it. We don't have to get health insurance. It's much cheaper than having a staff. Exactly. Much cheaper than having a staff member. Easily 90%. I'm saying 99% of the calls. There may be a weird thing, and then if it can't answer you, it's going to say, please am I home?
So we're gonna have George Clooney answer the phone?
I know, I haven't heard the voices yet. I know the, one of the county clerks, Mike Kevel, insisted on a Irish sounding.
I see how you're gonna pay for it this year. What about going forward?
But I did have a conversation with Holly
Yeah.
today. And we have, Department of Social Services is looking at a similar type of thing, as well as the Office of the Agent. So I had asked Holly if we could just hold off until we look at that in total. The odds are, this is the way it sounds, this company will probably
Taylor.
be Taylor or be the bundle, but, and there may be more. But I think, and it needs to go, and Holly, you started that process to Chris Sweet and MIS, and also our technology committee, which actually, Craig is on, you and Jimmy, and I forgot who else, but.
So yeah, so we did have that conversation and I am relatively okay with that. I've waited however long it's been since without answering the phones, but I also know that Camel used to be a horse until it went through committee, and I don't want to be, you know, having all those different departments involved. You know, they have specific needs, I have specific needs. So I did ask my vendor if they would be willing to offer additional discounts if other departments came on board. They said absolutely. Ours is, so again, this is pretty specific because I did do some research into the AI answering the phones. Most of them are very basic, like they can help, like, you know, my license is suspended, who do I talk to? Or I need a pistol permit, and it will direct it to that person or this person. So they're just more basic, or, you know, helping schedule appointments, which we don't do appointments. So it depends on what the need is. This one is a good fit for the DMV, which is what my need is. And as far as your question about payment, so this comes out of my records management account, which is not out of the general fund and not a cost to taxpayers. So there's no cost to taxpayers. I have plenty of money right now. I have $68,222 in my records management account. So I do have plenty of money in my account to cover this. So
Craig, can you?
Yeah, we can pull something together. And just run through it, yeah.
Get MIS and Holly involved.
Yeah. I know what was your time? What was their time period that if you called them tomorrow and said,
it's just a couple of days to get the system set up. So what it does with the phone, it doesn't interact with the phone system at all. It's just a call forward and feature.
Oh, okay.
So people will still dial the same phone number, and then it gets
Do
directed.
they know that our phone system is internet based?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I did talk to them about, because I thought the same thing, like, it's never busy, our phone. That's one of the reasons we also didn't answer, because it never stopped ringing. Like, you can be on the phone and it still rings. It's horrible.
Yeah, I guess one of my thoughts is on this is, it sounds like it's something that's coming into a number of departments. I know we heard about this from Bob a while ago, that they were looking at it, something that Greene County had, but it might be advantageous, as you say, if all of these departments can use the same thing, rather than having 4 different departments buy 4 different programs.
Right.
That's my thought.
Right, yeah.
I'm not a technology person, I don't know for sure, but
When they presented at your clerks conference, were they specifically targeting your departments?
The clerk's offices too, yes,
Right.
yeah, they were. Yeah. So And our clerk clerk- are you looking for the clerks or just DMV? No, just DMV. For me, it would just be DMV because we do answer the phone in the clerk's office.
Somebody
And then
had-
part of the problem is they wind up answering DMV calls because people know that they answer the phone.
Right.
And then it's, you know, turns into a whole other thing and they bitch about that.
As we talked about today, I'm not sure if it was Nina or from OFA, but they thought it was a DMV program, a based AI program, so it might be.
it might be.
It's not. I asked my guy, he said he's not working with any other departments. So, but again, I'm willing to be a little flexible, but I don't want to be totally bent over the horn because I'm waiting for other departments to make a decision. If Bob's been talking about this for months, I'm ready to go.
Well, this will spur them to speed up their process.
I just thought it was questions to ask, that's all. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, I'm happy enough with it in a way, but I just know there's other departments and we should
Well,
just.
and absolutely, you know, I'm a big proponent of the county not wasting resources when we don't have to, like with records management and shredding. I hate it when I hear, we do our own shredding. Why? Because, you know, paper, I would do it, but okay, whatever. You know, that kind of stuff really annoys me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same
Invite,
with scanning and data
why don't you invite
systems.
DSS and OFA to the table at the same time? That way, it's good. We can find
So
out.
how can we do this though to get it,
We'll do a Zoom.
so it can go in July for board?
I'll do as quick as I can. Sometimes it's our MIS, it's I'm flexible, so.
Well, we're paying NIS to do their job, so yeah, it's sweet. I
We'll,
texted them.
put
I
something-
answer my phones by technology, all my emails.
I'll
Should
put
be
something
answering
together
his
as
phone,
quick as
yeah.
I can and
Mm,
we'll get the invites out. If
okay, that'd be great.
there's any other
So we're
information.
taking- we're gonna
Still
table
have to
this.
go through this committee though, or?
I don't mind making a recommendation that we do this if MIS and everybody else, can we do that? I mean.
Pending the committee and
Right.
Or I think we could have it resolved before our full board and we could do.
Or special meeting.
Hold it as a special,
That's cool.
in case there's stuff going back and forth.
Okay, that's great.
So, I mean, it's up to you guys either way, but.
Is there, I'm wondering two things. One, if Polymorphic has a slide deck that they could share with those two other departments and or a salesperson that could talk to those
Yeah,
department heads.
absolutely. Yeah,
So that before your committee
Yeah.
met, they
Yes.
could have their questions together and.
yeah, absolutely. I'll
Yeah.
tell my. Yeah.
Have your people, and I'll have my people. Oh, that's.
Your
pretty
people
good.
come
We'll get something organized
Why
tomorrow,
couldn't they do a
demonstration at your
Yes, exactly.
right?
They could, yeah. We did do like a 10.
He's got people, and that's why I sit next to him.
So we did do like, they had a demo table at the conference, but then we did do a separate like web meeting just for me. That's where they showed the product a little more and I got to ask some questions. So, yeah, they can absolutely do something like that. Yeah.
And hopefully, if those other two departments have been looking at it, they've already got a brief or something that Polymorphic could respond to.
Right, and what they are looking for, exactly, yeah. And again, I think it's a developing technology, although this seems very, again, just the ability that it can answer those kinds of questions, like I can give it keywords like license, suspension, plates.
Is anybody doing
surrender.
it? Any county?
Not yet, so they're pretty new, so they're not, but they are, so Mike Cavill, what county is he from? He's looking at, there's like 4 or 5 other clerks who are looking at this project, yeah. Even Donna in Rockland County, where she just runs clerk, she doesn't have a DMV, but she's looking at it too. Again, just a cost saving measure and customer service aspect, it's like, a super cool tool so that your staff can be doing other things other than, you know, my deed clerks are busy recording deeds and then they have to, you know, Holly, this person's not in they, and then I have to say, I need their license number if they're suspended because I'm good, I'm that good, right? And then they have to go back and, so yeah.
So we're tabling this?
No, I think.
No, you're moving it.
Conditional motion.
So
Let's move it contingent upon IT and,
And tech
Given
committee.
Awesome.
motion, all in favor?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Little long in the explanation.
Hey, you know, I like to, I gotta give you all the
You don't come
information.
back for 5 years, it'll be okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll be Eli Musk.
I definitely won't be back in 5 years, so that won't be work anymore.
Now, Kimberly. Finally, you know.
Yeah, cool. It's pretty
As
cool.
we learn to use it, there's gonna be more things that need to be added to that, so, but.
Yes.
It's just the thought of not having to go through a phone tree.
No,
They'll save a lot of.
That was one of the things that really was like, oh, because you asked me that question about the languages.
but it'll include the biggest.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
All technology.
It's always called the bleeding edge of technology. It's never called the lead. It's the bleeding.
Good evening. All right, so I'm here because we have discovered that there was a property that we gained possession of through a foreclosure sale in 1986. And a deed was never recorded transferring the property from us to Edwin Ferry. We found this out because I received a call from an attorney and, well, actually the treasurer did first, and they pulled out their tax real estate log that kind of recorded that it had been transferred. And I was able to, with that, find the resolution that approved the sale from the county to Edwin Ferry. So I'm here to ask for your approval to record the deed so that it is corrected.
move it. Second.
In favor? Opposed?
Thank you.
Fortunately,
Is
had
it?
to sit through all that.
Right, are you kidding me?
I thought there was more to it, and I thought
So
you guys
that
did it
was
on
it.
purpose.
So how do you pay the taxes if the deed was not
Can
recorded?
you believe this?
No,
I
I
can't.
think that's extraordinary. You pay the tax.
Yeah.
Is it just a parcel? Or is there a
Yes.
house on it?
No, it's just
Big
land.
parcel.
Yeah.
You're a nice guy.
Motion to adjourn.
Let's send him a fruit basket.
So moved.
In favor?
Aye.
Now you can go.
And go get my vote.
Okay, folks, 5 o'clock, I'd like to open the Public Works, June Public Works meeting. And up first, we'll have Highway Department.
Tony's sitting back there relaxed. It's not the first one. They're always first.
A lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
You never know.
He's got all the resolutions too, so he's got to go first.
All right,
Let's see.
Continuing mowing, the new mowers are all working very well, very happy with them so far. Doing their usual bridge maintenance, our hot mix patching crews in full force. Crews are painting stop bars and clearing sight distance. We completed the concrete pad and sidewalk at the fire training center for the fire coordinator. And we are almost done with the culvert and drainage work on County Route 21C in Ghent Hillsdale area. That's ahead of our construction project. And we completed all the culvert and drainage work on County Route 29, that's Spook Rock Road in the town of Greenport. Right now for those roads, we're tentatively scheduled for the week following the 4th to do our shoulder reconstruction. And then that'll be followed by the rest of the reconstruction and then paving on both of those roads.
That was some project out there on Spook Rock, because I ran that road quite a bit. And it was
Yeah.
very well organized. The crew was great.
Yep.
They did a great job, getting us through and
Yeah.
both ways.
At one point we had 2 crews, they split and we're kind of doing different culverts and
Really
ditching
well.
and stuff like that. Yeah, those are 2 good crews. Those same crews are now the ones that are completing, Ghent Hillsdale and Harlingen. And then usual storm damage cleanup. Personnel, we've hired one, MEO1. And we have 1 employee out on leave of absence, 3 employees out on extended medical leave, and 2 employees out on workers' comp. So we're doing pretty good there.
Yeah. You're right on target with last month, you know?
Yeah.
You lose 4 and you hire 1. I don't know.
One, yeah, 5, here's 5. What's that?
How many employees do you have?
I think total, including the watchman in the shop, is around 82 or 83. I think.
Yeah, so it's not.
Yeah, something like that.
We sent 3 off to college and they came back to know everything.
Right, yeah.
That's right. Yep. Our annual safety day for training for the county, town, villages was held on June 9th and June 10th, fairgrounds. That was successful. And as just mentioned, we had 1 assistant general foreman and 2 road foremen attend the annual Cornell Highway School at Ithaca College, and they brought back some good knowledge from there. And as you're aware, I'm sure you know that New York State passed a budget.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. Right on time for them.
Well, yeah, lately.
We did receive our CHIPS letter, and current runs show we'll be receiving $2,838,635.55 in chips. That's an increase of $192,498.72, which is the same increase we got last year. They did 50 million total last year, 50 million total this year. And then the other numbers stayed the same: the 384 for EWR, 629 for Pave New York, and then 419 for the pave our potholes. Additionally, we had $434,247 in rollover funds from the previous season. Some of that is the encumbered money for the plow trucks that we're still waiting on, which should be here within the next few months.
So it's rollover, but it's encumbered.
So some of it is.
Yeah, okay.
The rest of it is this money that we weren't able to spend. One of our biggest obstacles of spending all the money is the limitations that we have trying to get all that work done in one season. I know it's not often that you have a hard time spending money, but not that happen. Resolution requests. The first one is to authorize.
Motion second, all in favor?
Next one is to fill the vacant MEO2, which is promotional.
Motion second, all in favor?
Next is to fill the promotional senior motor equipment operator 1.
Move it.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
And then the last is to fill the budgeted position of auto mechanic.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
That's all I have.
Question, Tony.
Yes.
Here it comes.
Here it goes.
We're having an issue called, I don't know if the county is having the same issue.
You have a lot of
A
issues.
lot of trees, oak trees that are dying along the roadways. So the problem we're having is a lot of them run by the power lines. So who's responsible for these trees? Is it the power company or is it the phone company or is it the fence? Yes, I'm asking, because Louis, we're just going over, going, oh my God, we're getting, not just a couple, I'm talking
Right,
40, 50, and I mean, they're big oaks.
Yeah,
So they
I
gotta
mean,
have boat trucks and everything to get them down.
what we, and for us, usually what we'll first do is we'll check our right of way and see where we're at. Anything with the power lines, we can't touch anyways. I mean, if it's something that, our tree toppers can come in and do, and it's a tree that's in danger of falling, well, it's gotta be, pretty much in danger of falling. What we have done in the past is we've tried to reach out to the power company itself, whether it be NYSEG, Central Hudson, or National Grid, and see if they have any plans on a crew coming in, or see if there's something they can do to help us out with it. Stuff like that for us, if it's a tree, like I said, that's definitely gonna be coming down or causing a hazard to the roadway, we would take it ourselves with our tree toppers, obviously. But a lot of times, unless they're in that bad of a condition, we just wait for the power company to come get them.
And they're not coming.
And they're not coming. Sometimes we've had.
Because NYSEG used to have a really.
I was gonna say, we've had good luck with NYSEG, right, Chris?
Actually, a few times we got lucky where we worked out a deal with them. If they call Asplin and they
Yeah,
pay for
right.
Asplin to cut it, we'll clean it up behind them.
Yeah.
So we kind of have got lucky a few times, but not very often.
Yeah, if you contact the right person, and like Chris said, you get lucky and you work with them,
I think what we're gonna do is doing a big inventory, figure out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a lot more than I ever thought.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's a big oak
yeah,
and they're just nothing on it. Leaves are gone. They're starting to lose limbs. Oh, yeah, they're that bad.
Yeah.
So they're all gonna start dropping something.
right.
And that's the problem. And
Yep.
everyone had to be by power.
Yeah, right, that's always the way.
And whose property it's on and the right of way, how far in, how far off.
Yeah, yeah,
We've had neighbors say, don't touch the tree, it's on my property. And then when the tree falls, they, well, you gotta clean it up now.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute.
right. Oh, yeah,
So anyway, I just.
we go
asking
through
what
that
you guys
exact
plan on
same
doing.
thing. A
Okay.
lot of people don't want you to touch them, and then when it comes down, they want you to clean
All
it
right.
out.
So I'll get in touch with Louis, we'll sit back and.
Yep.
See what we come up with, okay?
Any other questions for Tony? Yes.
Can I ask a question? Can you talk about Buckwheat Bridge, or is that just Commissioner Jerkowski? As far as what's
We have-
happening right
It's on
now,
the agenda, but, just for an update.
it's on the agenda.
Yeah, I mean, there's an update here from him about
Okay.
it, but
Coming from the commission.
from the engineer, yeah. I'll read the engineer's report. He's not here tonight, but
Okay.
I'll read it. I don't know if I can answer the question. Well, shut. Tony will still be here, so, All right.
You're welcome.
Up next, we have facilities.
Joanne actually know it.
I know.
What's that? I know, they're sitting right up on the desk, I forgot to bring it down, so it's gotta. All right,
I mean, all the for you.
yeah.
Go off the Megatron here.
Yeah, but that's getting hard to read, so.
Oh, boy.
I'm fine,
Make it a bigger, make it a bigger.
I can, so 325, just, basic, little jobs, of course, on the third floor, put a wall up about 6 months ago. Now we took it down because they need more space. We get a lot of practice doing
Yeah,
that.
right.
So, that seems to be happening a lot, so, this past month was like the shred month, that's all we did was just assist with shredding and moving all the boxes. Courthouse, we just got done taking out basically all the county equipment and stuff, the sheriff items, removing all the door cores, because they're made to their system, so gave them back to them. The inmate bench and stuff went to 11 Warren.
Let's see here, 11 Warren, basically, the building's in good shape. The plumbers just got done there. I think, the only thing we're waiting on is the sprinkler company come back. There's a couple leaks in spots. They got to fix those too. And then, probably the mechanical to finish doing the rooftop units with the fire alarm system. But all in all, it's moving pretty good. We're down there now. We're doing the floors because the machines are going back,
Right.
you know, probably Wednesday when we pick them up. So I'm making arrangements to make sure everything's locked for them, so they're happy.
How's our fiber connection plans coming?
So, and I talked to Chris today, and he's gonna try to light the fire on them, but that's the main holdup right now. So, because I can't do my doors, I can do most of it, but I can't
Test them,
program
right?
anything or do anything until they're on the network. So, so that's kind of what we're waiting on. And hopefully, I just looked in the email, I should have the cores and the keys, hopefully within 2 weeks. It was a 16-week lead time, 16 to 18 weeks, and that puts me 16 weeks next week. So hopefully I can get them to start plugging them in down there. So we have, actual keys to use. Let's see here.
Did you get those potholes out of soil and water? I didn't.
Yes, I did. I told them after we spoke to hit that, and because they did, I think they washed out. But I don't think he did one of them though. The big one, of course. But I know he was out at airport filling them in. I'm gonna have to get highway out there probably at some point to try to, because we're just putting it in and it's not gonna ever last. So might be able to do a couple strips, but that's a tough little area right there with the dialysis there too, for them to get their equipment there. So I'm gonna work on with them eventually.
Thank you.
Down at Granite, I met the electrician there. So, and as I was leaving, NICEAG was coming, so that new pump should be online.
Okay.
He never called me back, so everything should be good. Then we got training scheduled on the 22nd. Basically, that's pretty much, you know, and then ACs, of course.
Yeah.
So,
It's a good week last week.
Yeah. Well, I got a hold of, we had a little problem at 911 yesterday. I was out there and had to go reset it and found out one of the pumps was leaking again. So the light coil was down.
Yeah.
So he was out there today and he didn't have a transfer pump, so he's going to come tomorrow. So he's going to give me a call if he needs to shut it down again. But the leak is stopped, so hopefully, you know, we should be good. So. So.
All right. Any other questions for Brian? He makes it sound easy, but he's been very busy. I know that.
Oh, did you want to touch about the roof or?
I will in Ray's report and if you
All
got any comments, did you look at that for me or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got some little tidbits in there.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we'll bring that up on the Ray's report. Then we have solid waste. We moved it around because Ray's not here, so. You know. He's gonna tune in from Italy, you know, I think,
So our department has currently been working on a grant for collecting data for the grant for the Greenport Transfer Station upgrade. I put that in there just because it took an awful lot of our brain and time this past month. So hundreds and hundreds of documents were just submitted to the state. Hopefully by next month's meeting, I'll have some feedback from them on how it looks, and then maybe I'll have some numbers, but it will be upwards of 500,000, I believe. So it'll be a nice grant, reimbursement.
For the top load building?
For the recycling top load building, and we lumped in anything recycling that we purchased around that time. So equipment, 20 yarders that we use for recycling.
So it's retroactive. It's
Yeah.
You should have spent your saying.
Let's get to 500 first.
Sorry, yeah, fingers crossed for 500. Hopefully we can get a little more. But beverage loan container, the thing I brought last month is up and running. Information can be found on our website. Although I say that, and I think that I put it on, it's definitely on the new website, but I'm not sure if that's live yet.
It is.
Okay, so it is on that website. We're working on the local solid waste management plan biennial update. We are having a little bit of a hard time collecting data for this, which makes this part of the biennial difficult, as we are not collecting garbage numbers from haulers, or we don't have full control. So without this, we're not getting very good solid waste diversion projection numbers. And so the department is working very closely with the state this year to try and figure out how to get closer to our actual number without actually having actual numbers, so that we are in compliance with the state regulations of reducing waste by 2030. So that is a project. And that also means that we have to work on the implementation schedule. So just a heads up, I am going to be sending out audit surveys to local libraries and private haulers within the next month or so. And this will keep us in compliance with the goals that we're supposed to be meeting this year. Recycling education at the stations is continuing. Currently, the most common misinformation is actually plastic recycling. Residents are absolutely under the impression that all plastics, regardless of shape, size, number, whatever, is recyclable, and they cannot be told otherwise. So that has been very interesting and fun. So just a little reminder that we only take plastics 1s, 2s, and 5s.
That means you have to go through.
And they need to be clean.
You
What's
have to
that?
go through the bag and they brought it all mixed together and you gotta go through
Yes, sir.
them. But I think,
Yep.
okay.
Or it
It's a
all
lot of
becomes
fun.
trash too.
That's right. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For your
Yeah.
time doing stuff like this, it's very frustrating. You know?
It's,
Part of the job, I understand that, but you know,
yeah.
it doesn't make your job easier. But
No, it does not, but, and then the bag pricing did increase mid-May. I know the clerks had a little bit of a concern about inventory reports at the end of the month, but everything turned out fine. We received just a few complaints, but that doesn't mean that there weren't more. We just, it seems to not trickle down to us as it does the clerks. So, or even my guys at the stations didn't hear a whole lot of complaining. So a little interesting fun fact, besides the small bags, because we do know that that has increased, the other size bags really haven't had a price increase since what I could find of 2004. So it was time.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Employee updates, we have 2 part-timers that are currently out, and I have 1 part-timer that has resigned. So that puts me right now down 5 part-timers, just an FYI. And I am down 1 person in my office because she retired last month. Safety day for station operations was held, as Tony said, on the 9th and 10th. So all my full-time laborers and drivers go to that. I had positive feedback come back from all of them. They thought just some interesting stuff that they learned. Roll-off rentals that we do has been increasingly busy this past month. At the time of our agenda submission, we had over 25 roll-offs off. Update, we are completely rented out of 30s for the next 2 weeks. So we're really busy, which is great. And if you come to the Greenport station, you'll see how busy we are because our top load is full. We have a lot of debris, which means that we are having live loading almost every day. So a truck is coming in and we're live loading them out. And then we still have 7 containers, and we're filling 3 and then a live load just about every day at the moment. So we've been really busy. I have no resolutions and the monthly report is attached.
All right. Questions for Wendy?
It'll be interesting to see when we get like 2 full months under those increased bag prices, what they do for your bottom line.
Right.
As much as I've heard people come in and buy bags at our town hall, no one's complained about the price.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple. Yeah. You know, I'm guessing because they go by my office, I hear it, but nothing major.
you know?
A resident did say today when they were purchasing them that it's still cheaper than renting a container and doing curbside, so.
My clerk did mention that, the pricing, any change in pricing should happen on the first of the month.
Right, so we couldn't, so here's the problem with that. Our meeting is held in the middle of the month, okay? And full board is held in the middle of the month. So the problem with doing something like that, and this is an actual problem that we have seen in the past, when we went from bags to tags and tags to bags, word gets out that something like this is gonna happen and people stockpile. And so this particular time, I really tried to alleviate that happening, because otherwise it would have taken away from the income that we
Positive
were
revenue,
trying
we're trying to attain.
And so because of the way meetings fall, I really had no choice but to do that. And I got a lot of grief actually in my own department, because we kept it so under wraps that like everyone found out on Thursday morning.
It was past last night. Oh,
Yeah, so it was like, we really did, but it is because we had such a huge influx of sales when this happened in the past. I mean, people were buying cases and cases of things.
That's what executive session is for.
And then they wanted, and they wanted to return them, and, you know.
Very.
Okay, I understand.
So, and I did, I
appreciate your
apologize to them.
Yeah, very.
But, well, yeah, that was.
And we'll do a special meeting on the 31st.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I understood, their concern about that.
Yeah,
And the easiest way to alleviate that was just to fill out 2 inventory reports for the month. So, and that was fine.
Understood.
Yeah.
Now we've moved on, hopefully. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Would it be better for improvement if we discuss, moving away from some part-time and replacing with a full-time employee?
I would love to have that conversation, since I still have, the 2 part-timers are out. They're not resigned, but I do have 3 open part-time positions at the moment. And if I could convert 3 part-times to 1 full-time, I would do that in a heartbeat. So.
Yeah, 2 budgets coming.
Yeah.
And we're also talking about that in workshops.
Yes, yep. So. Engineer?
All right.
Thank you.
If there's nothing else, Wendy, we thank you. As I said earlier, Ray is not here tonight, but he did prepare his agenda for me. I'll read through that and see if we can answer any questions that do arise. Buckwheat Road Bridge, the project endangered and threatened species assessment, and also the section 106 project submittal package has been completed and submitted to the New York State DOT. All written comments that were received have been compiled and forwarded to the design consultant so that they may be submitted to the New York State DOT as part of the project record. A total of 32 email letters and additional information items were received. Currently reviewing all those comments that were received to evaluate if additional modifications can be incorporated into the proposed design to address comments while still meeting the county's goals for the bridge replacement project. The engineering department is also received and responding to a parafoil request for information and documents regarding this project. Does that answer any of your direct questions? And you had a question there, but so you can go ahead and throw your question. I'll see if I can help you.
The question is, there's currently work being done on the bridge, like it looks like a repair.
Yep.
So I was wondering if anybody could speak to that.
So yeah, I can, maybe Ray can help too a little bit, but I did know, I don't know the bridge as intimately as you folks do, but Ray did tell me that in hearing and having the public comment sessions between both Livingston and Claremont, that he heard comments that arose to potential safety issues. So he felt that those repairs should be done so that it alleviated some of that. Does that cover that, Ray, a little bit?
I mean, what he told me is he was resurfacing, the patching and resurfacing on top, so it could be opened up as 2 lanes. But that's as far as went. He was supposed to give us the documentation tonight. I didn't know he was in Italy.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought there was some concerns, comments from people about safety concerns, the way it was, and the work that was being done would help address the safety issues. But I took out of that. But
there was cones and stuff up, 3 or 4 feet of the bridge, on the side, so it's cutting off some of the traffic. So I think that's why he's just paving it. So for the safety issues, what he told me as well.
Right, yeah. And recognizing that these things, these projects take time, like the Stuyvesant Falls Bridge, once we submitted all these packages to DOT, it can take a long time before they respond, so. Construction isn't happening, but reach out to Ray if you got further, that's what I knew about it, Speaking of Stuyvesant Falls 25 Bridge, we're still waiting New York State DOT to distribute the area of potential effect, which they said they have completed to the consulting parties, but we have not heard from them. The engineering department continues to work with a consultant on the design details for the bridge repair to allow the bridge to be reopened with a limited load rating. Hopefully we're going to have contractors there before winter, hopefully. We'll see. County Roads 27A, a public hearing has been set for June 27th regarding right-of-way acquisitions and public informational meeting regarding the project at the town of Copake Town Hall. Letters have been sent to 16 properties impacted by the construction that will require a right-of-way acquisition and or construction easements. After the public hearing, the engineering department and the project consultant will conduct a public informational meeting to provide an update on the status of the project. County Route 9 slope stabilization. Counties received and reviewing preliminary designs, plans for the slope stabilization roadway repair. The engineering department will have comments back to the consultant by the first week of July. 11 Warren Street finishes, final finishes continue to be installed by the general contractor. Final new furniture installation is to be completed by June 10th. Awaiting countertops and cabinets in the kitchenette area, as well as the toilet petitions. Awaiting a schedule from the fiber communications provider prior to scheduling a move-in date for various departments. The engineering, facilities and board of elections department have been coordinating the moving of election machines directly into 11 Warren Street after the June 23rd primary. I want to remind folks that we had a public meeting on the facade of that. And if anybody hasn't completed a survey, take a look at that. A public informational meeting was held in open house format for the public to have open dialogue with the architects regarding various components of the building to provide input on the design of the building facade. Although various means of advertising the meeting were utilized, less than 23 members of the public attended, including 11 members, representatives of the city and county. 401 State Street. The county has previously been awarded $412,000 in funding through NYSERDA for energy improvements at 401 State Street. The engineering department has been working with Centrica to scope a pair of projects to consider. This includes either replacing the roof with additional insulation or partial replacement of existing building doors and windows on State and 4th Street. I do have an estimate. Ray was hoping that we would have a couple quotes. Now, remember, we have to submit a report. Don Meltz is actually handling that part of it. In order to capture that $400,000, we have to submit that by the end of June here. I wanted to have tonight both quotes for the windows and the roof. I do have a quote for the roof, and it's like $450,000, and our grant's 408 or something in that range. So, here it is. No, that's not it either. I've got it someplace here. That would be my preferred project, but we don't have a complete estimate on the windows yet. Again, the windows were originally estimated at about $1 million. So Ray had tried to say to Centrica, and they were back here the other day and did a survey of the windows. And they will probably have a price for us maybe next week or something, but I just wanted the committee's temperature on which way we want to go. Like I say, the roof, I think, is the more important thing. If you talk to people that work in the building, they'll tell you they sure would like to have windows too, because the wind does blow through them and it is an energy issue. But the windows would probably need SHPO approval because it is a historic building, as well as, so I think that could complicate all of that, and trying to move ahead and spend the $400,000 that was allocated a while ago.
Is this the leftover CEC funding?
Yes, yeah.
So we need to put that spent.
Right.
Will the parapets have any concern to the
So Brian, I'll turn back to you now. So I did share the quote from Centrica with Brian because some of that, did you have any comments on that?
Well, the only thing I was gonna, we're looking at that, the only thing, like, we put that cool seal up there, which should give some added time. I just went up there and checked it. It's in good, I found a couple spots that we gotta hit. But that was done like 2 years ago, and that had like a 5 to 6 year, or I think a 3 to 5 year kind of like lifespan before you can recode it.
Yeah.
So it kind of kicks the can, if they can't do it this year for next year too, but the parapet one not included, that could be another issue.
Right.
On its own, so which still will be, they talked about bracing it up again.
Yeah.
Is it gonna end up in Michael Reardon's lap? I mean.
No, unfortunately, that's where I sit.
Yeah.
Got a question. So when we talked about this before, we're fixing the roof, or the fact is that we're gonna put a new air conditioning and all that up on the roof, correct?
No, that got pulled out of there because of structural concerns.
Well, what I'm asking is the roof deteriorating that it has to be replaced, or are we just fixing the roof because it leaks, or I mean?
There's buckets in places.
Yeah, we've had multiple leaks on other spots, because that was one of those, was like just a tar and,
Fiber membrane?
yeah, that's it. And I know that was done probably back in, I would have to say like 98 if I had to guess. So.
Yeah, but I'm asking, Brian, you have to replace the whole roof, or you just gotta take the top deck off and replace the tar and all that stuff? Replacing the wood and everything, or just?
No, I think they're
Just sealing the roof.
and then go over with foam,
Okay.
and then,
So I can read through the assumptions of the scope if that helps a little bit. The roofing will be terminated with a term bar affixed to the existing parapet. Masonry or mortar repairs are excluded from the parapet walls, what they're saying. Existing wooden brace on the parapet wall to be replaced with a fabricated metal brace by Columbia County. That's why I gave it to Brian to review. Columbia County to install a brace on the roof deck after demolition is completed. Roofer will flash around this new brace. The existing skylights will remain. 2 layers of 6-inch polystone insulation will be installed under a 30 mil white TPO membrane to get an R30 rating, and that's where we get the energy, qualifications for that. Existing gutters and downspouts to remain. Roofing will be flashed into existing gutters. Every effort will be made to install this in 26, but availability is limited and installation cannot be guaranteed this year. So that's from the quote.
Who's more important than else?
Well, what has a direct benefit to the employees? A more direct benefit?
Water not dripping on their head.
Yeah.
Or having to have a space heater at their toes.
Well, yeah, that's, the heating system should be replaced and that would address that. But what they want us to do with this money is to go to clean energy. So you're talking about converting to electric or heat pumps, and that's not going to happen for, $500,000. So, it does help, with the overall energy. I guess my concern is we've all talked about vacating this building, but a roof keeps the building secure as long as, I mean, if the roof leaks start to deteriorate the rest of the building, then everything goes.
So we're talking about $400,000.
Right. We're trying to utilize the
400,000. We got a time frame. So my other question is to the windows. Are the windows that bad that they leak? In other words, if you had a choice, what would save us the most in this building? The windows at this point or the roof?
Most of the windows from the second floor up have been replaced. Back in that, I'm talking
90s.
In the 90s. I remember it's probably 94, 95, if I remember correctly. The downstairs was never, this whole floor was never done. The worst windows are Board of Elections. That's where the major need. But we had some of the windows, like the plastic tabs on them. They've broken. But basically they're function, but there are some leaks.
I mean, I'm just trying to guess. We only got 400,000. Where are you going to spend it? That's what we're trying to figure out.
That's right.
The roof and the window.
And I guess my thought is, if we're gonna,
but I don't want to spend it on the roof to if you spend the money on roof and then we gotta do something to structurally make the roof better for something down the road. We gotta.
Oh, yeah, no.
Then we're spending money, then we're just gonna waste money rather than wasting the windows.
They don't, bubble
If
skylights.
you're planning on staying here, we're standing on doing something up on the roof where we gotta structurally make it stronger. Why would you wanna patch it and then turn around, tear it all out again?
They had told us we couldn't put solar up there because of, you know,
Right, I'm
without
just asking.
rebuilding it, so
I understand.
I don't think we're gonna go that route. You know. And my thought is that, you know, the state just approved the budget and there will be another round of funding for this clean energy stuff. And you know, maybe next year we apply and get $1 million into the windows.
Okay, that's what I'm asking, you know, what is more important right now? at this point?
Right now, we have $400,000, $411,000 that we haven't spent. And if we don't have a contract turned into the state by the end of June, we're gonna lose that.
Right.
We stand to lose it.
I just don't want to spend money up on top and then turn around, tear it all out and start over again. We just spend, this could go on and leave, I'd rather put windows in. And then plan on that for down the road, we gotta do
I'm
that.
kind of going for the roof only because I've heard that the parapet, is that the,
Yeah,
that-
parapet, yeah.
that's a big concern. It's a safety concern. So if that's going to be fixed, you know, no,
It's not really part of this project. We're rebracing it, that's about it. Yeah.
rebracing it. So
You
we're
replacing it with
not
an
going to
angle.
be worried that it's going to come down into your office.
I can run like a roof.
You can run up. I still go for
But
the.
yeah, no, that's really the only bad spot that's leaning in. There are more concerns that they'd have to be addressed later on.
Right, but they would brace it up where it would be secure enough.
Yeah, that's the
Right,
real
right, right
concern
over
right
here.
over here. So,
But is
I've
the
heard that.
parapet strictly a visual?
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything for the structural integrity, right? So we could remove it.
knock it out.
No.
and move over top.
It's historic building.
That's the problem with
Yeah, that's the
removing it is you
problem.
have to get SHPO approval.
That's why I said that the parapet's a SHPO concern.
Right, it is, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I still.
We would like to shorten it, you know, structurally. I mean, the easy thing to do would be to lower it down and, you know, we looked at that and that was in the long range plan that Centrica gave us, that was a consideration,
$900,000.
you know, but
I still say go for the roof. I still say.
Oh,
for the roof.
So Brian will be responsible for bracing it,
Yeah,
what's that?
rebracing
They
it.
said you're
Yeah.
gonna replace the wood brace with the steel
Steel
brace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
And I think their intent was if we put a steel brace in there, you can make it a little bit better, and then they put the roof around that, so it's, you know, not leaking, but right now it's a temporary thing, but it's not fixing the mortar problem with the parapet wall. But
So where are you gonna pull the extra 40,000 from where if you go to the roof?
that's my next.
We have-
Yeah, right, yeah, I mean, that would have to be, and that may, to be honest with you,
To make $1 million.
as I said, this,
Well, in a real estate listing, if you say new roof, that
right,
sounds good.
right, sounds good. It may not happen in this year's budget, so, you know,
I'd make a motion to use this CEC allocation for a roof.
I second.
We don't have
All right, you
a
have a
roof.
motion in a second.
okay, I have a motion and a second on the roof. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, I'll tell Ray that's the nod. I don't really need a resolution, but I mean, Donnie needs to submit that.
You gotta have it done by June 30th.
Yeah, Donnie has to submit. All right, sorry about all that. Livingston Outpost, the engineering department is preparing a design to replace the existing oil-fired boiler and hydronic fan coil system with an LP gas unit heater that served the main garage and a mini split heat pump to do the break room. The boiler has been problematic for a few years and has recently failed the annual boiler inspection. A new unit heater installation will be placed out to bid. Cost saving measures include mini split system will be installed by the facilities department and the demolition of the existing system will be completed by the highway department staff. I wonder if they know that.
Right now.
This is very similar to what we did at the Kinderhook Outpost a while ago, and I think that worked out well, didn't it? Not, you know. Sewer district, a new pump station generator and fencing has been installed at the end of Grandinetti Drive. And the unit is temporarily being powered by a generator supplied by the contractor as we wait restoration of the electric by NICEC. And I think that's what Brian is telling us they finally have done. I have two resolution requests, one authorizing the chairman of the board of supervisors to sign a construction contract change order for $2,300. Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And the other one is a change order at 11 Warren Street. Renovations to the contractor. This was $5,500, and I know what happened there. The electric panel that was spec'd for a certain area, they thought it was going to be 4 inches thick, and by code it had to be 6 inches thick. So then they had to pull the whole wall out a little bit to fatten it up. So the general contractor had a change order to straighten that out and make it flush and proof.
You have a motion in a second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Good to get some people in there, so the poor Lauren down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
No, I know that many of you were part of the tour the other day. I think the building is looking great, you know. I have to commend Ray and Brian for all the work they did. A lot of work went on. For those that didn't see the building when we first bought it, a lot of work went on in there to move some things around and clean it up and make it usable for us. So our departments are gonna be thrilled to be in there, I'm sure of that.
Yeah, especially board of elections.
Yeah. No drive through windows.
Yeah, right. You could stay in this
We
building,
got some
right? Any comments from the committee? Any comments from the public?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.